Together podcast for the week of November 7th, 2018. I'm Ooze.
I'm Sudon.
And I'm Peachy.
This week we are going to be discussing books that we have.
Yes.
Don't know which one yet, because we have to go to the
Wheel
of
of
Destiny. So we'll do that. That is firmly on Peachy.
Yikes.
It's peachy.
Alright, Peachy, what do you got to talk about?
It's got a love affair with me lately. It moved on from Sudon. What the hell?
I can live with that.
Well, we're going to talk about Spider-Geddon last.
Yep.
Spider-Geddon number 3. So,
Spider
otherwise,
breaks the destiny.
the other books that I have are Deadpool number 6 and the Immortal Hulk number 8, both of which I share with Sudon. Let's talk about the Immortal Hulk. What do you think?
I think you should choose whatever you want to choose, and I will follow in suit. Both were great.
Sheep.
You sheeple.
Yeah, for sure. Both were really good. Yeah, I'm down to do Immortal Hulk first. This is Immortal Hulk number 8 with continued, excuse me, workings. With art by Joe Bennett. The inside art is great.
Al Ewing.
Yeah, Al Ewing is writing, continued story by Al Ewing. And of course the awesome covers by Alex Ross. This week's showing Hulk where we left off. Just kind of dissected and put into jars.
Yeah, those words.
Super cool cover.
No. That is creepy as hell.
It is creepy. The whole issue had a super creepy vibe, but I really dug it. You know, my Pandora's having a hard time moving on from Halloween, and I must say I'm having a hard time doing the same.
Peach and I were actually discussing this yesterday. Since Nightmare Before Christmas happens between Halloween and Christmas, I don't think Halloween is over until the 24th of December.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.
You gotta give way to Star Wars season starts on December 21st.
No.
Usually
this year.
it ends on December 21st.
Not this year.
It happens.
Not this year.
I'm not Disney fucking things up. I still believe in what I believe in.
Anyways, Immortal Hulk number 9.
Number 8, yeah, opens with a quote from William Blake's The Tiger, that's Tyger.
Tiger.
And it says, "Did he who made the lamb make thee?"
Oh, these are just getting way too weird for me. I can't hang anymore.
Yeah, but
if these
Hulk
quotes keep up in
Yeah.
the lame realm that they kept in, I may have to just drop this book altogether.
No way, man. This has been a great book. I'm glad I picked it up.
Damn, yeah, you're right.
But Hulk is in jars.
Yeah.
The book starts out by describing the process with which they cut open his heart.
Oh.
The heart was dissected from Banner while he was brought in a near-death state. They were able to cut him apart and dissect him and do all kinds of things, but now it's nighttime, which of course we all know is
Hulk's time,
and the heart is transformed into a large green, heart.
Hulk time!
And they said that the arm or the knife itself is made of adamantium, and the hydraulic arm that it's mounted on cost $7 million, and there are only 4 in existence.
Wow.
Yeah.
It could bend titanium like paper, and even so, it whined dangerously as the blade cut through the intravascular septum or the heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty macabre. They do that a couple times in the book. It's just the cold, calculating way that these scientists and doctors are going about, dissecting the Hulk.
Right.
And whatever. Let's see. as they're taking the heart back after it was cut open and dissected, they're taking it back to the room with the jars where the rest of the body is, and as they start to get closer, it starts beating. It's in two separate containers, and both of them start beating as they get closer, and you see the douchebag scientist that we've stuck with for this whole story at the Shadow Base, quoting the Telltale Heart, the famous line from when the murderer admits to it because of the beating of his hideous heart. He can hear it, which I thought was great. He's like, it's the beating of his hideous heart, and then he's like, so tell me, what's the science behind why this is happening?
Any ideas?
Everyone's just like,
Yeah. And I mean, they've got Hulk completely dissected, and they've got his head in a jar, his brain in another jar, but all of his body parts seem to be responsive when they're in
proximity.
Yeah, when they're in proximity to each other. Super.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He's alive in this whole time. He's watching this as a head in a jar.
Yeah. The whole time the douchebag scientist is mocking him and, taunting him and whatever, and we see a cut-off shot of Hulk's hand flipping him the middle finger.
Charming.
Yeah.
He tells the guy to have a little decorum as he's doing this.
Right.
I'm like, come on.
And he's like, now bring me the heart. I want to play with it. So he picks up the heart, and it starts to, melt back together and heal itself. Which he thinks is super interesting, and he's going all super cold calculating scientist about it.
And then he gets on his hoverboard.
Yeah.
It's on his hoverboard. I like that they're kind of discussing, why doesn't each piece create a different little Hulk or something? Why does it have to, pieces come together to recreate the Hulk? And I'm like,
yeah,
that's cool, because they kind of touch on that. Why aren't they Hulksies? And they're trying to figure out why the healing happens. And they're like, is it psychically connected? And they're like, no, there's no psi energy.
Yeah.
The hypothalamus, which runs all that, it was completely has been destroyed in the past, and it's come back from that. And
yeah. And basically, they're like, we need to figure out the rules so we can figure out how to break them.
Yeah. Which they lead back to that one dude. I forget the name of the character from a couple issues back, which had been the son who was irradiated.
From one of the first few books. Yeah. The second book, I think it was.
Or was it the old man? It was the old man.
It was the son. He smothered the old man, Hulk did, and they dug up the son from the grave.
Okay.
They show him that they're looking at him. We want to know how to break the rules and whatever, and they're still torturing him. We learned, a few other books back. But,
or he's still feeling the pain that he's going through, and they're not relieving that pain, even though the doctor had admitted that they could.
Right. And then we cut to
Alpha Flight. Space Station. Yeah. Where they're talking about, where is the Hulk? What happened to Hulk?
He's been misplaced.
He's kind of gone. They handed him over, and he disappeared, and not even General Ross knows what happened to it.
Yeah, he's denying anything.
Or he does. I don't think he actually knows, is because I think they mentioned that he denies the knowledge.
Oh yeah, but
and
keep him in the dark. Yeah, so he can.
In 14,
yeah,
he doesn't trust him, so I think he took him and left. So neither one of them are around.
Yeah, they can't find 14 anywhere.
So they're saying hey, what's going on? And this is Carol Danvers of Alpha Flight, Captain Marvel, talking about this.
Talking to McGee and Lankhouse, formerly the Sasquatch.
The Wendigo Sasquatch.
Yeah, who had his powers drained.
Wendy Squatch.
Basically, she's trying to convince him that.
Well, the mystery is okay, did the military kidnap him or did they lose him?
Right.
And then they're like, of course McGee's like, hey, can I use you as a source? as an anonymous source, can I quote you? She's like, yeah, because we can't do this as Alpha Flight. We can't. We don't have the ability to fight that.
They basically planted that as a seed in the press to be like, to kind of sniff out where he went. They want negative press, draw negative press to the idea that the Hulk has gone missing. So yeah, McGee's gonna write the article on it and go all hush hush. And
this was interesting. I did before, like they haven't been able to locate him, and if they can put enough pressure, they'll move him and they can locate him.
Yeah.
And he's all like, "Well, the gamma signature hasn't changed, but I didn't know that he could change his gamma signature at will.
Yeah.
Like, so he could be like, "Oh, you could detect me on this one. Oh, now you can't." And I'm like, "That's cool."
Yeah, I didn't know that either. They made a few changes to Hulk in this series, and just different things that we haven't seen before, or maybe stuff that they haven't touched on in a long time.
Yeah.
Right, like the absorbing of the gamma rays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the reach, just totally. The Lancaster kind of points that out. Yeah, he's like, we don't know what he can do. We don't know what he's fully capable of. As he points out, cornered and wounded. So and he's like, if anything, this horror and everything that he's gone through is obvious. Like, we can't go and underestimate him. It can be predicted what the mutation will do.
So Danvers, at this point, she's like, well, you know what? It's time for you to get back on the team, and we're gonna need your skill. And he's like, I don't have my powers anymore. I'm useless. They're like, well, no. She's like, no, you know, Banner. You know his psyche. Plus, you've done research into gamma radiation, so you've got a few legs up on things. So we need you back in action. And he's like, well, you want me back in Alpha Flight? And she's like, well, here's the thing. I'll make a press announcement later, but my goal is to protect the Earth, and one of the Earth's biggest threats has gone missing. And so I'm going to create a task force dedicated to finding the Hulk. And what better name to call it than
Space Force.
Space Force.
No, okay. Gamma Flight.
Gamma Flight, which I like.
Yeah.
Alpha, Gamma, I tell you.
It's a subtle but still kind of in your face. Yes, we are the ones taking control here.
Yeah.
I like that they could still will use that power, and we're gonna put pressure on it, which we see works in the next panel as the Doctor is talking to a general.
Dr. Clive, douchebag scientist guy, Dr. Clive. He's talking to I think General 14.
Probably 14.
Yeah.
Because even the assistant asked which one he had talked to, Eileen or whatever. But they asked him, like, do we still have leverage on Lankowski? Because they traded the Hulk for and for his
freedom.
Yeah, extradition.
Right.
And they like, did we overplay our hand? And it's like, he's talking about how he doesn't want to go back to jail. He's getting threatened by the general. And, all right, we'll move him. So
the lab's definitely shaken up. Yeah. They are definitely moving. So the things did work for Alpha or Gamma Flight there, right? So the Dr. Clive, the douchebag scientist, he's talking about getting things moving, and he goes to talk to Hulk and just, pour salt in the wound, and we've got you. And you think, and Hulk's smiling, he says, you think this is funny that your friends want to make things hard? They're making it hard for you. And he starts telling them, we're going to do this to you, and we're going to, stick needles in your tongue and maybe pop open one of your eyeballs and pull out one of the other ones and see what happens, and blah, blah. And the more he's talking and, egging or, trying to anger him, the bigger Hulk's smile gets. And he's like, and the scientist eventually figures out, oh my God, you wanted this to happen.
He's like, what's wrong with you, moron? I'm from experimenting on you. You got this, what's funny? And he show his hand.
Yeah.
The whole time, Hulk is bringing the three fingers together. He's talking about how your fingers move, your heart beats, everything's independent. We're gonna find. Oh God, you wanted this, right? As Hulk's like, yeah,